Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game of Total Warhammer 3. We're here with Taurox, the Brass Bull, once more, here on the island of the High Elves. And, there's some other people around too. We're not overly concerned with them, Everything is great. Malagor is finally about to show up. He's been on the road for, oh my goodness, we did it again. We messed up. And so, I'm like, are we about to get this army popped? I think so. I think so. Well, sometimes that's what happens. I feel like this happened to me last time and I just forgot about it. I could reload after all. Why don't I? There's no reason not to. After all, there'll be no documentary evidence that I ever, cheesed my way out of making a stupid mistake. I mean, no decent person would ever talk to me again. I would have to eliminate all of the evidence. So it's a good thing nothing like that could occur. For my own reputation's sake. As the beastmen march across the loading screen that is conspicuously there. Alright, so this time, we wouldn't do that. Obviously, we would be smarter, because we could just, land here. And harass them from this way, and that's fine. That's good, even. It's even good. And then, and then we can go around. Of course, we don't have underway access, but we could just go up this way and probably beat them in a fight. Probably. And they went all the way across the world to take over our holdings there, which is very funny, actually, and, good for them. I care just a very large amount about all that. Kazakh's army gets 15 melee attack, pretty good. Now these high elf armies are about to get lots of dragons and such, and I don't really have any tools to deal with that. We've got yeah, we might as well take it, right? Is it right? No, we might as well take this. Alright, so we can go down this way and meet up with Malagor. Eltharion's on our tail, but he can't catch us. And we'll just burn this down for a ton of money. But also, we could do this and get the movement and the growth. No, we'll just take the money. After all, they won't even know we're here. And here we'll just... Alright, what does Malagor need? Malagor needs the thing that lets us recruit the weird beasties and we can get him a ton of flyers? Yeah, sure, why not? And we'll just sink a ton of money into his army here. Why not? No reason why not. And then we will give him that. Alright, alright. Now Taurox could go down here to support, but that feels wasteful because we could also go in here and burn through the interior, which doesn't feel wasteful at all. Now this army might be worth doing. See, everything up here we've already burned though. Yeah, we'll just go this way and meet up in the interior. And Malagor can probably go to the right, because they're all over there now, yeah. But we'll have Kazrak and Morgar go up this way. They'll be able to support each other. If any of them is feeling sad or something, then one will be just tell the other one, hey, you're doing a good job, blah, 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 blah. Instantly healing all that ails them. Because beastmen get very sensitive when they haven't been fighting very often, it gets them upset. Alright, so this Quintaro person has moved too far forward, and that'll, that's bold. Here, this is all very sketchy, but we have very strong armies, but the High Elves are their own special problem. And we've got a Carnival of Nurgle, which, would be good. We're just gonna let that happen. Who cares? We're just gonna burn down the world there. Alright, so... Eltharion's right here, which means he wants to brawl, which means Malagor is gonna pop him. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can win this. We, after all, have, like, a proper army here. I mean, in a way. Does Malagor regenerate? I don't think so. We want life leeching here, though, for sure, and that'll let us get a bunch of other power. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna pop in here. Now, this army's not amazing, but it should get the job done. It should probably get the job done, because their army's not amazing either, and unlike them, I've got, like, cool buildings. So let's see how it goes. It thinks we'll lose. You know, Eltharion is a scary, scary dude, but we've got, you know... Okay, we have to be careful about this. So this... he'll be able to use to lock us down, potentially. Lasts for a long time, can't move. So we need to not be too aggressive. Alright, so he's got big skirmish force, 5 archers, and then spears. And, you know, we'll deal with it. Because what we have is a ton of magic, and that should get it done. Because he's got a base army, which is almost bad, because now after we beat it, he's going to go home and get a way better one, but it'll take him a couple of days. Alright, so they're all the way through there. Malagor flies, and he's small, and he's incredibly quick. He's a terror. He's basically what this army is depending on. And we're just gonna posture with him and do damage because we'll have like a ton of magic, yeah. And we can just cast Flock of Doom for an extended period of time on them, and we will. And then they'll have no choice but to come in at us, of course. It's possible that Eltharion will try to get in on our leader, but that's why we'll have a legion of stealthed footmen there. And of course, they most of our guys can't even be seen. Put the Gors in the woods there so they hide as well. So we just dropped this, like, right here. It's like, no, it'll only hit 2 of the units. And it would be better to hit 3. But Malagor's just flying around. He's being a menace. You know, he's not a great fighter, but they can't, like, sink damage into him. And his abilities are really wonderful. Which, you know, could be better spent on the bulk of their forces. But here, they're going to charge into the woods, right into the Daugs. They'll regret that, surely. And just Beastman things kicking in. And we'll just run the, you know, because again, we can, and here we'll throw a Flock of Doom, like, in the middle of all those fools. Now, Eltharion could lock us down. Would we die if he did it? Does he have stealth? He must. Alright, so we're gonna dive out like so. And get these guys going over to deal with this flank. We're just gonna dive them here, yeah. And we'll get the Harpies pulled around on this side to deal with the flank there. And Chariots here. Alright, Harpies are getting dunked on. Not so good. Alright. But what if we do this? Oh, right. Oh, no. So that move order took them in a very precarious position. This Gore Herd is doing alright, though. These Reavers, you know, they sort of want to be in this fight, but not, like, a lot. And, of course, our Harpies get totally caught out, but can we get them away from Eltharion in time? The answer is no, we cannot. So Eltharion's a crazy good fighter, but he won't be able to stand up to, like, all of the things going on him at once. We just need to get those... Oh, man. Alright, we might be torching this. Oh, wow, that was a huge amount of damage we just took. I don't even know how, but we took it alright. Alright, so we just need to get somebody onto these archers, or we lose. If we get anyone onto them, it'll be fine. But it looks like we're gonna lose this army, huh? And I took this fight. I didn't have to. And Malagor is getting dunked on in the air by Eltharion, which feels terrible, right? It feels really bad. But now we finally, got the Harpies on there. And so now, we're shutting them down. This is what we needed earlier. Of course, now they are into the cookie jar here themselves. But the Spears aren't going to love this fight. We've got the Terror out there. At least now we're about to have... Yeah, the Doombull's in a good fight. We'll get the Vigor there. Oh, he's got a Vile Tide ability? Okay. And while they do have Spears there, the Giant will work well enough. Alright, so here... Malagor is getting shot. Not perfect. We'll get another good old Flock of Doom, though. That will be nice. And we'll hopefully drain all of that ammo. Now, it's working out. It's not pretty, but it's working out. So when we finally got anyone into the back line, that was enough to make it essentially crumble. Now these spears want to hold. We need to get the chariots around to the back, right? That'll get it done. This army is crummy, but it's all working out. And then there's that barrage again from him. Crazy stuff. But he's fighting a giant now who actually loves this fight. This is what the giant wants. The giant wants a fight against a non-anti-large guy. So what if he's got AP? Hey, Thomas. Yeah, just had a little bit of time to play, and I figured, why not some Warhammer? Definitely a messy battle, but this is my backup army, and we didn't have time to tweak it really at all. There's a lot of crummy stuff. We don't have everything lined up, but still, his Beastman prowess works out. Okay, so this Gorbel just knows the spell Vile Tide. That is crazy. I thought it was like bound. That's awesome. Because Gorbels are not casters. That's it's pretty excellent. All right, so we take out their army. Not very clean, but a glorious victory nonetheless. This is a weird army comp, and it worked. It's essentially an early army comp against an early army comp. They've got the better leader because Malagor, while a great caster, like. Flock of Doom spam's good, but it takes a long time to add up. It's not as dramatic as some other stuff can be. They were in March stance, so they don't get to run away. And that'll give him, a very nice trait. And here we're going to come this way towards Lothern, because we're going to... Well, no. Yes, towards Lothern, because there's more armies that way. And it'll be advantageous to burn this down again anyway. Alright, so we need to level up this thing to get more manties, and... Alright, how to make this army better right now. Let's see. Centaurs could be good. Another chariot. Yeah, 2 more chariots. That'll be the way. And then we'll drop like a raider and a raider for him. Oh, he can't recruit chariots. Well, then we'll pick up. We'll pick up a couple more harpies. Like, why did I think he buffed the harpies? It's Kazrak that does. Alright, so we just need a better spell, right? That better spell is going to be our summon, and now we're going to be able to get, you know, the upgrades that we need there. I mean, maybe we should just get, like, a couple more dudes with spears, but no, that's silly. Well, we could get a different, yeah, we could get, like, a Zangor. But maybe another harpy wouldn't go amiss. After all, with High Elves getting the building more tigers this run. In a way. No, this the beastmen don't get access to tigers. That's who we're fighting here. All right, so well, they get lions, which are not exactly tigers, but of course are basically tigers. Just don't tell the lions that we said that. All right, so Taurox, we ROR recruit these guys because it'll fill up a slot. Now, we can go down this way to meet up, and I think that's where we want to do. The Dread Fleet lives right there, but we can just burninate on in. And then, because these 2 armies should be good enough to deal with what's going on here, right? Right. And Morgul will just move up here, and then Kazrak will jump in. Boom, and we get the ambush off. Which means it's going to be time for a great battle. We have totally juiced combat stats, so this is a decently elite force here, right? These sword infantry are frenzied. Yeah, I mean they're solid little line holder guys. They're not super crazy. Got 2 phoenixes. We got a suite of missile troops, and then Silverin Guards. So, like, a solid little army. Nothing crazy. A solid little army. We've got, of course, some punch. And we're going to put the Scarecrow banner onto the Harpies, and then here, and just get to it. No, we do have, like, wolves, and we have giant boars. Well, not giant, very large boars. Giant in Warhammer means a whole different scale. We've got all sorts of things, but not tigers as such. But, you know, we're a beautiful mix of ragtag folks. We got centaurs, you know, we got very excited moving sounds going on. You know, the men are ready for battle, only they're not the men. Alright, so this is an ambush. There, we're gonna want harpies here, dogs here, chariots here, just go right over the top. No, start here, go right under there. Alright, where do they want to escape to? Because I often, like, get it on the wrong spot. Alright, I don't actually think they can escape here from this ambush. Okay, good. Angor's there, and then Kazrak, because he's... Is this kind of chariot too? Alright, so chariot characters, this kind of chariot too, chariot character squad. And then we'll have the armor-piercing fighters here. And the phoenixes are going to pop onto the archers. Now, is that ideal? No, it's actually kind of bad. However, I forgot that I left them unsupported and that the flyers would dive them. I don't actually know if we can solve that problem. Classic Beastman ambush. But on a good note, we have, you know, gotten into all of this already. We've got our armor-piercing fighters going there. We're going to drop a big trader kin on this blob, which is going to do like 1,000,000 damage. We're going to sap away all their mana. Not their mana, their... You know, the raiders are actually, you know, they're winning this fight. So good for us. Good for us. You know, they never should have attacked in there. And the spears here are holding in the front. And these Korngors, you know, they're losing a bit, but they're not like the run-of-the-mill guys. And this, now we're going to be able to come in Pestigors and Bestigors. That's just what they're called. Pesties and Besties. And they're going to come in here. We need to get our chariots over here to charge into the rear of the spear position. And now our reinforcing army's coming in. So even though the Phoenixes, Phoenices were trying to deal with us there, we just charge all the way in. Brutal stuff. And we forgot to even do our summon, which is bound as well. You know, there's a lot of power we didn't get here onto the battlefield. But the Bestigors are very strong fighters, and we have, you know, like, some good buffs to them, too. Now, often people don't use them because the large monsters that you get access to tend to punch a little harder for their weight. But I believe in a beautiful army composed of various cows, and not just big ones that are flashy, you know. I want to celebrate the whole catalog. And we charge into the back of the spears, and then we charge right back out. You can do this when you have your own units to run through. Otherwise, you don't really want to be charging into spears. Even if they're not braced, you can still be taking some damage that you don't wish to take. But here, it's all fine. And we just drop another Traderkin. Silvering Guard, high armor, high leadership, infantry. They just hold forever. But they don't do a lot of damage, so if you get something that'll deal with them... Indeed. And then, of course, you have Kislev, who can ride bears and have giant ice bears and have sleds pulled by bears. Characters that ride big bears, you know. And from there, we're just going to keep on moving up, because if this fool wants to move into our zone of control, he will suffer for it. And if he doesn't, then we'll kill him later. So, Alariel is just hanging out here at this tree. If they move out, we'll pop them. Now, the other thing we're doing... So, she has this shrine here. This is called the Shrine of Cain. It's very important. Cain's like the elvish god of war, basically. And his sword makes you a crazy strong fighter, but you can only build the building to get it if you're an elf. So you gotta, like, wait for somebody else to get it and then take it from them if you're not an elf. Alright, and Morgur, if we build this one, do we need chariots in this army? I mean... I would like them in all of our armies. Because we're playing a little squirrely with some of our stuff, but, you know, it's all good. Alright, and now we're under attack. I think they're going to regret this. Alright, it says we're going to take a bunch of losses. I bet with some semi-careful play, famous words, we can turn that around. We'll give the Sintis more AP. Alright, so what do they have? Couple flyers, bunch of archers, bunch of light cavalry. What do we have? Bunch of minotaurs, and some other stuff. Monsters and minotaurs. Now we are in Juggernaut stance. If we retreat, now we won't be in Juggernaut stance anymore. So this will let us, yeah, now we're better off. Because now, okay, now they had to go into March stance, and it got us out of that. So now we get our vigor in battle fine, which, so if they attack you, you wanna run away first. There. All right, good deal, good deal. And now it's time to roll. We got a choke point battle. Now, normally that would be good for a faction like the Elves, but we have artillery, and they don't, which means they have to come to us. I mean, they don't have to. They could sit there and let us throw rocks at them for a while. They won't. They might try to get both of their armies here, and if they do, I don't care. We're just going to have the Cygor here. Yeah, well, they will deploy, like, all the way back there, won't they? I guess we just wait. And clash the whole army. Alright, so this is the ones that have shields, so we can be more aggressive with them. Oh, no, these are the ones that have lower armies, so we can't be so aggressive with them. And those guys will move... Alright, so... Elves aren't ranged. Yeah, they are great archers. They don't have artillery. So they have, like, some bolt throwers, but, like, so Elves, because of, you know, who they are, they don't think, like, oh, I need to make cannons or whatever. But I have what's called a Cygor, which is a Cyclops massive cow guy, and he throws big old boulders. And I also have a summon for a couple more. And because of that, even though they're great archers, we're going to be able to make them come to us. They want us to charge across into their lines, but we're going to be able to be bowling them down. It's going to be great. We've also got summons for these Cygors. We're going to be able to get 5 more of them just from casting. So through the course of it. Which that's going to be what we do. We're going to just go up and drop one down. So they're going to want to wait for their reinforcements. They're not even going to want to come across at us, right? Yeah. Because the key for us is we just need to have a little bit of time holding the line. And then the Minotaurs can go in. Because when our lords and stuff rock in, all our heroes and the Minotaur squad, they are very, very punishing. But here, you know, we could be shelling into the trees. It doesn't feel great to do that. But I guess if we do it, we might be able to get them to come forward anyway. So they Spirit Leech us. Yeah. 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 But the Elves don't use anything like that. So this, you know, and it's got 400 range. So even though this isn't like the best artillery in the game, not by a long shot, it is enough to make them come to us. But they'll probably do that whenever this minute rolls in anyway. But I don't know if the trees are going to stop us here. If we get a little bit of damage on them, they'll charge anyway, which we should have done this earlier rather than before this minute. Yep, what a beautiful arc. Yeah, see, look at that. Bam. And doing, you know, 800 damage with the boulder, that adds up really quick. Not least because that's a summoned unit. And if you trade 1-to-1 with the summon unit for, like, a nice unit of cavalry, these are silver helms, so these are, like, medium cavalry, right? These are medium shot cavalry. They're armored, they've got good charge bonuses, and they're getting picked apart here by this summon, which is excellent, which is exactly what we need to do with it. We could actually get another one down. I think they're going to charge as soon as this boulder hits. If they don't, we'll just continue picking them up, right? And then we'll have a couple of Cygors here. And then, of course, there the benefit is that our real one is here in the back. he'll be safe. This one can soak up damage from some various sources, and then, you know, now, as they're trying to get in, finally, we've already sunk them a little bit. Beautiful. Look at that hit. All right, and then here, they're going to come in all at one time here, so we're going to steal their ammo from the reinforcements. Beautiful. And that's a huge hit on a lot of their reinforcing things there, so that'll be very nice. And now it's time to get ready, because this fight is about to begin in earnest. And of course that means a bunch of summoned monsters in the middle will be great. He'll have one more for when the fight kicks on. Because if we just start sinking boulders into the spears, then, you know, that's one thing that they have that's good against us, right? Is the spears. But it'll only work so well. Actually, if we get it into these archers, that'll be good too. Alright, and then we're just gonna let this guy aim where he may. You know what? Let's get the heroes in the middle, and we'll send these guys over here to deal with these folks. Shouldn't be too tough. Once they get this downhill charge from the Minotaurs, like, let's just slow it down a little bit and gaze at the majesty. Like, they did not know this was gonna happen. Look at that. The spears come in from behind. Everything is so good here. The Minotaurs just charging. Oh, yeah. You know, I should do more slow-mo shots. Look at the damage. The elves just getting crunched. All right, let's get back to it. And we're popping all the hits there on Taurox. Brass body, popping it all. All right, what's happening here is they're coming across. They are really going for it. Now we want to get all of our guys here. No, not the Cygor. And in a few more seconds, we're going to be able to get more damage in there. All right, so the chariot... Was it the chariot that's getting that much damage on the herd? Probably not. Probably some other thing. All right, we need to get here. Now, they're going to charge right in to these spears, which is not ideal for them. Now, the thing is, though, is behind this infantry, we don't have, like, anything for them to mess with, right? Once they deal with our archers, like, there's just two of them, and then everything else is punch. But speaking of that, we need to get out of the center block here. The center block. Alright, and this is going to do a massive amount of ammunition damage. This is going to sink... Yeah, huge amounts there. Now, that's not going to render them totally inadequate, but it is going to help out tremendously. What we want to do now is overcast a Traderkin. And, yeah, exactly. Well, we want them to get across the bridge. We don't want to fight at the entrance to the bridge. Oh, man. All right, so around on this side, you know, we're gonna flank into these archers, I guess. I guess that's what we're going to do. Because we don't want to fight them in the middle of the bridge because they could shoot there. So we want to draw them into this part of the bridge where you know, their numbers are less valuable. And now we're going to sink a Vile Tide right here. Yes. This is going wonderfully. Our big monsters are very good in a blob fight. And, yeah, and these Minotaurs with great weapons are fighting somebody that's really beating on them. Oh, it's these spears. Well, that would do it. But there's a Calcan Guard getting in a little too late. Well, you know, nobody wants to live forever, right? Let's get these Minotaurs out of the fight. With these spears coming in to reinforce, it's a little better. All right, now we want to hit a big Traderkin in this blob. That's going to hit like 15 units of things. That's going to be very good indeed. Now and then we'll howl for trying to get a leadership break. We need to get this beast out of there. He's getting shot up very badly. He does not have the qualifications to be in there. But the aura hits very nicely there. And now, you know, our hero core is still very fresh. The Butchers of Calcan Guard feeling frisky as well. They've got those silver shields. They don't care about getting shot at like the rest of these Minotaurs do. And now we've got this flank attempt. Perfect. They're in full route. These Minotaurs with great weapons are fighting in the trees, so that'll be good. They're fighting these chariots now, which, you know, that should be fine, you know. And if these Minotaurs fall, then, you know, we shall never see their like again. We'll recruit some more soon and become very attached to them, no doubt. All right, so Another big traderkin. We just need to push through this blob here, which is just what we're doing right now. And these Cincies of Tzeentch are getting their kills in, getting the damage done, going all the way through. Now, of course, they do have, like, some Sea Guard coming in from the reverse here. We don't want to be taking that. We're going to do the explosion right as the flank comes in. Beautiful stuff. Now, they took this fight, and we just bash them. Feels good. Now, we do want to run them down, though, right? Right. So let's just go to fast forward and start running some people down here. Slay anything that doesn't moo. We're just doing this so that, because one of their armies is going to try to walk away from this alive, and we don't want it to be... The other one might too, you know, so we're just going to pop in here. We're going to take out the Archmage, you know, make them pay for their temerity. And a choke point battle, you know, you would think, hey, this is good for me. I'm the archery faction. Well, you'd be wrong. I'm the archery faction. Now, the summons do some good work, you know, making them go forward. It's really nice. And then you know, we make them pay with steel. The flank worked out really well because, you know, with the choke point, we got a lot of their archers to clump up. We also, you know, did the ammunition damage, which feels good. You know, it didn't end up taking them all the way out. You know, we could do it a little better next time. I don't think we'll be in a replenishment stance here, which is too bad, but... yeah, that's one of the things about retreating. But he just gets to bash through an archer there, and then we pop the leader, and there we go. .300 kills on the caster, you know, Traderkin does the work. 200 kills on the Cygor. I'm sure all the Cygors did pretty well. Yeah, you know, the army did what we wanted it to do. And we demolished their forces, right? Now, some of them might be back, but you know, maybe not. Maybe this minor Beastman faction will bash them while they're sitting there. Unusual location here, so... okay, so this is the thing that's gonna devastate the entire world. I guess we're just gonna let it happen. Because it gives us... when it has no active plagues, it gives us replenishment everywhere. And once it goes off, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so this is gonna let us destroy the world if it happens. I'm for it, okay? I'm for it. Let's see how that goes, right? So we have replenishment everywhere now, which is very good. We have replenishment almost everywhere out of the box, but now it's truly everywhere. Can we get here and burn it down? Not in time. We'll just go here. Do we have anything we want to recruit here? We can get guys with shields. Is that good, or... I mean, it's certainly something. Why don't we get... a Korngor here. Let's just keep on building our stuff up. Jabberslith, yes, yes. A plague, yeah, so the Skaven, the rat people, and Nurgle, the god of decay and corruption, the Chaos Lord. God, rather. Chaos God, not Lord. They have effects called plagues. This one I have not seen before. This is like a special world-ending one, which normally it would make me nervous, but as it is... when I have no plagues, I have some good effects. And then this is just going to... in fact, now normally a plague might mess with your replenishment. It might mess with your ability to make money or whatever. But we're beastmen. So unless it does it to my physical armies, I can just leave wherever it's happening and cackle. I can just bounce and watch the world burn down from this plague. Because we're a horde faction. We have these herdstones which you can also recruit from, and basically, like, you set up a herdstone, you burn down the area around it, and then you're like, yeah! And then you get some points for it, and that's how we work. So it's very different than a normal thing. And along the way, we build up buildings inside of these raiding bands. Can I make the rat people go extinct? It's very difficult to do. There are a lot of them. They're all around the world. You can't see what places they're at. They look like they're ruins. You basically have to check every place. It'll, you know, we'll certainly try. Alright, and now we're gonna pop in here. And, you know, just auto it. There's no real point in belaboring it. And we get access to a rampage thing again, which we'll just hold on to. And here, Sarah, this is the army, you know, so they didn't get to replenish because of local effects. Here we do that and lose the spears. It's fine, you know. You just cycle them back into the abyss. Our elemental incarnate of beasts gets very beat up in that battle. I mean, that's fine too. Look, we'll just get another one if we need to. We're not we can't stop, won't stop. And here we raise a herdstone. Because, yeah, we'll be able to burn down a couple of these places. Now, Larry's armies, Alariel the Radiant, is called Larry by the community. So you'll hear me say Larry. That means the Alariel the Radiant, the Everqueen. We just call her Larry. But she's hanging out here. If we don't... You know, if we don't mess with her, maybe she'll just sit there. But we'll just go over here and burn down that land instead. Because we don't want her to notice us, right? We just want to skirt along the outside of her territory. And she sat there for a couple of turns, so if we just chill here, maybe she won't notice us. We can burn that down later, you know, because we zoom up there. We burn through the donut, and then we can just, like, drive out this way. Because Taurox is right here now, so we're going to be able to burn down Lothern again next turn. We can actually go raid here, right? Yeah. Make a little bit of money. Taurox needs to recruit to fill the hole in the army. We could get, like, a Corngore. Another chariot would be fine. Like, do we need halberds, though? I mean, not really. We don't need any of these things. Something with a shield wouldn't go amiss. Just a little bit of, yeah, just a little bit of something to hold on to the folks. Yeah. Might as well. A little bit of basic stuff in each army never hurt anyone. And everywhere that Morgur is, like, people can't heal properly, which is so cool. Alright, so we're just churning through. Just churning on through. Because unlike our opponents in the world, we don't have to care about anything. We don't have to pay for our troops. We don't have to pay to recruit our troops. We only pay for buildings. Which we've already got most of. And then you spend some secondary currencies that you generate through action and destruction and such on other things. But yeah. Hey, Clan Moors has been obliterated. So that's one Skaven faction who's been kicked out of the world. They're not around anymore. So that's good, right? And here, we've got that big reinforcement range now. Very cool. And we're going to just auto it. No point in worrying about that. And we're going to burn it down for a ton of money. We're going to burn it down for a ton of money. They just rebuilt it, not the other day, you know. So that's pretty funny stuff. Here we get another... The obsidian lodestone for another talisman. I mean, it would be nice to have a talisman of ward save, but we'll wait on this, I guess. Sword of Anti-Heroes would give us magic attacks, which is very, very important. We actually have his quest to do, don't we? Yeah, we still haven't done his quest. Pretty funny. Look at that. Gorbals get access to such good stats once they get all the way going. It's a very wonderful thing. Alright, alright. Everything's fine here. We don't need to worry too much about leveling up all of these things all the time, do we? Yes. Alright, there we go. And then we'll take that, which gives us blessing things and weapon things. No, we want the hardier army here, right? We want the slugskin army. Yeah, because we want Morgr to just be like cartoonishly difficult to take down. We want freakish mutations because, you know, got that. All right, so we get a couple very good items, several very good items. All right, so that's gonna let us give like unspottable to a Cygor. Oh, he's the only one that can use them. Well, that's all right. All right, so it's going to allow us to give regeneration to non... Yeah, awesome. He's going to be able to give regeneration to something that doesn't already have it that's not a character. So we could give it to, like, this bird. No, the bird already regenerates. How wonderful. Anyway, we'll figure out somebody to give it to. We can give it to the Sons of Goros, you know. A regenerating chariot would be good. We'll work on it. We're just going to keep on rolling. We could perform the ritual now, but... Yeah. Shrine first, probably. Pay the dread, get this. More uses of drain ammunition. You know, we've got so much money, and that's why we're using it. That's why we're using it. We're going to go through here and start burning down her stuff on the interior. You know, one thing about the donut is it's hard for them to get inside, too. So once you get, like, a little bit past them, you know they can't catch up to you. And then it's burninating the countryside, burninating the high elves, burninating all of them. And we could have hearthstoned there, but I guess, you know, I didn't think of it, so we're not going to. And that's the thing, like, if they don't know you're there because you're in stealth mode, then you can just, you know, almost freely move up and down into the zones of control. Alright, so here we drop an Ungurherd for a halberd. And we'll grab a Zangor. Silver Shields, Barrier, Vanguard, you know, it's just a generically very good unit to have. Do we want to get anybody else here? I mean, his army is fine. A couple chariots. It's all okay. Centaurs, you know, I don't love them in this army. They work, though. They work right now. Would I prefer to have a throwing axe? Yes. Alright, so we've got campaign movement for all characters. Yeah, obviously the right choice. And that takes us to that turn. Because Viola the Drowner's probably wanting to go and colonize Lothern, but I think we can push out a little bit more burning before we have that happen. Yeah, because Taurox can get all the way up here because he's got crazy big movement range. Burn through. We could raise a Hearthstone here. I mean, why not? Bell tolls for him, and we'll run up here. Malagor's army. Burn this down. Lose a bunch of units. I mean, yeah, what are you going to do? I mean, we could do it ourselves. It doesn't matter, though. These units don't mean anything to me. Alright, well, we got real beat up there. It's fine. We'll get put back together again someday. And anyway, we'll move in here and probably do like a two-turn recruitment there. We ritual there, get our marks before anything else happens. Here, there's no point in worrying about... Oh, we can build 2 things now. That's right. Okay. And now Fern Harvest is going over here. She's trying to harvest some ferns. It's not gonna go so well for them because, again, like, we're already ahead of them. We're burning through. They're not gonna be able to catch up. And by the time they do, what are they gonna do? Like, they're gonna have to recolonize the lands. They're gonna spend all this money on it, and we're just gonna cackle, right? Like, this is all we want. Because right now we've already met up in the middle. And we can, like, pop into the water and ride up here and attack Gainvale, but if she, like, moves down here, then we won't even have to, right? We won't even have to. And the AI is, like, not really well prepared, right, for this style of play. At all. They can only react to what they see. And what we do is do most of our moving in shadows and silence. Hey, we win. We win. We destroy this army with our garrison with 24 dudes left. And then we lose the crackback. But hey, we get a little bit of money. Celestre de Fond is there. So it's like, and 2, we don't have to care about what happens here. Like, oh, now the vampires are taking over? That's funny. We can just leave. Exactly, because we have stealth too. Like, every time we go to our encampment mode, we're in stealth. So if they move into it, it's like a stealth ambush camp too. So we can heal from there, we burn down their stuff, and then we stealth. So they don't know we're there unless they find us, right? And the AI has to find us due to the algorithms, right? It can't just be like, they should be here, because otherwise, it would be too easy for them. Alright, so we'll take full replenishment, yes. And we get the Helm of Tresca, which is like an item that can wound you for like 10 turns or kill you outright if you're not legendary, or it gives you a really good ability. Sometimes we might use it. We get a Talisman of Privation, burning it down, burning it down.
Well done, my lord. The marks of ruination accumulate at your hearthstone, awaiting your ritual.
And we get a couple talismans there. We're going to take one of them away immediately and give it to Taurox because, he needs it more than Khazrak does. He's the leader, after all. Alright, and here Yeah, we just, click, clack. Keep on building up, and then when we get to the very end, we can unlock the final battle, you know, and that's what it's all about, is the final battle. But now we keep on moving down here. We're just going to meet up, and then we'll swoop up this side of the donut, burn through there, and then come right back in here and burn down the Everqueen's place. Hopefully giving her enough time to pick up the Sword of Cain here. Hopefully. This would be exactly the sort of thing that would drive her to the madness necessary to pick up the sword of the mad god of war. But you know, people will do scary things when they're put against the wall. All right, so we'll get a couple jabber slides. So he doesn't care about any particular unit, which means... Oh, well, no. You can give armor to all of them or weapon strength to all of them. Why don't we go with weapon strength to all of them? Like, no, I was like, I swear he did. He did. We just didn't get it yet. Alright, so what we're going to do there... I mean, we can get another one of them, right? If we can, why not? Why not, indeed? The dog is sleeping in an amusing way. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and... Chariot or something? Yeah, so here, Jabberslith will get another one. 3 in an army. Yeah, why not? We'll take a giant here. Another giant? No, we'll take 2 more chariots, and now Malagor will have a proper weird army. Do we want a Razorgore herd? I mean, probably not. They're not very good. You know, they've got their issues. We could get another wolf, yeah. But I mean, why not with poison? Why not with poison, indeed? So Morgul will take money. I'm like, we're going to be able to upgrade basically everything here. I mean, not really. All these things cost a lot, but we do have a ton of cash, so we're just going to go through and get everything now. All right, let's go ahead and get this building and that building. All right, there we go. And now we spend, you know, 50,000 coins, and everything is perfect. All right, so fear when ambushing, meh. 5% speed for all units, decent. Stuff for Warhounds and Harpies, yeah, 3 AP is good. You know, the missile resist is good too, though. So is this. We'll take that. All right, we're gonna end this turn. Do I have time for? Yes, of course I do. For just one more turn. Celestra wants peace. Like, I don't care. We could do it. Yeah. I mean, she's gonna pay me. Why not? The thing about the vampires is they're undead, so beastmen don't particularly care about getting rid of them. You know, their souls have no value. Alright, so for Taurox, we want to go do his quest now. I mean, why not? Yeah, so we've already got our short victory achieved, which is very good indeed. And then we just need to go over for the long victory. We just got to go and burn down the whole empire, which who knows how well they're doing, right? It's up here. But we just sort of, you know, we're taking a long road there. Do I have time for this quest battle? 15 minutes? Yeah, it's long enough. It's gotta be. This army will, it'll be good enough. Of course it will. Alright, let's go. Because you can do this quest when you're like level 7 or something. And it's not even that good of an ability. I mean, it's fine. Sporticus. Yeah, so they're doing a witch night thing, a death night, and they're having a party. They're getting interrupted by me though, and we are going to have a time. Dark Masters grant Taurox visions of great victory. This Taurox destiny here and now. We slaughter the Dark Elves for chaos. Taurox is a big talker. They come from behind their walls. They come to meet the Blood Beast in battle. The Dark Elves want blood. Taurox, give them blood. We meet the Elves at River Crossing. We pile their puny bodies high. We slaughter them for Dark Masters, and the river run red with their blood. He always speaks in the present tense, you know. Not will meet. Like, these are the things that'll happen. Alright, so it's already going in motion, and we're going to Harganeth Executioners are some of the more important things to worry about here. We're just going to, you know, they don't give you time to get to your thing. We're not going to pause, you know, we're not going to pause and put it together. We're going to do this and remove a whole bunch of the ammo here. Why not? We've got a couple more uses of it. We're just going to try to get into the trees here and go try to attack their leader on that front. And this way we want to... I'm like, no, not that. Not like that. Alright. Back around the side here. Now we're going to throw our Cygor summons down. This is going to dramatically change their calculus. And now this fool has run into the woods with our forces, which is very good for us indeed. Alright, the Shades, they are firing. We're going to try to get around the back with the Senties. And with these guys, you know what? Why don't we just bowl through the Harganeth Executioners? Oh, they've got a lot of mass. That's why. Wow, and of course our chariot there just gets shot up by Shades because we abandoned it. It's all fine. Sad cow noises intensify. Taurox is going to pop all of his abilities and be happier now. And now these fools are running into the woods where we want to be fighting. We're going to keep the Minotaurs onto their leader there. That should be fine. These Senties, you know, they get in, but man, do they ever pay for it. Man, do they ever. Now, we're going to expect, like, a flank at some point. We're going to expect something at some point. We will get, like, full replenishment after the battle. You know, we don't want to lose anything, but it's Beastmen. It's not, like... It's not a big deal. Yeah, but it looks like once we dealt with their leader in the woods, you know, the rest of them sort of crumbled pretty quick. Chariots, you know, doing fine? Yeah, well, not really. More Death Knight Revelers have joined the battle. Alright, so reinforcements from over there. That's all to the good, right? We'll just get our dude there. Go ahead and drop. No, we'll wait on the next summon. Because this, you know, I don't know if this army gets here in, you know, 3 minutes or whatever, but we definitely crumpled this one up before they were able to really make a difference here. Hargoneth Executioners are very cool. They are armored greatsword infantry, and these are just running away from, you know, that's Taurox. You can tell because he's taller than the other ones. But, you know, these are big old elves, and of course the Minotaurs dwarf them. This game looks so cool. Alright, and what we want to do here is just reposition in order for the rest of this fight to come together right now. We're going to get... Summon there, summon there. We just need to see... Alright, Blackguard of Nagaron. That's, these are the armor-piercing fighters with halberds. These are the elite of the elite. For anti-large for the Dark Elves. We just want to be careful that we're not running into them. And, you know, a few choice boulders will get everything that we need there. Oh, yeah, because, you know, no matter how armored you are, the boulders, they work. They're blobbed up. We're going to take a big old hit to their ammo here. There's nothing better than seeing, you know, 18 arrows go down to 8. That way, even if we forget about them, it'll work out. We pop all the abilities. I said all of the abilities. Cold One Knight's pretty elite. They're gonna try to get in on our guys. Oh man, what's happening there? So we've got orcs coming in to support us from that side. They might betray us at the end. Who cares? Not me. I welcome our new orc allies. These witch elves coming from the trees. We're not gonna let them get through. You know, they're not going to love taking a charge here from magic weapons, Centigores. That's, you know, they don't have armor. They rely on their physical resistance, but with magic weapons, they don't get it. Of course, not having armor means the armor piercing doesn't matter, but it's still a bad situation for them. We're going to... Some Norskins have also been drawn into the promise of a great battle. All right, more fighting. And the Cold One Knights crumble up these, you know, probably that was some ammunition fired in from the Centigores also. But, you know, a huge, messy affair. Cutscene, yeah, the quest battles have cutscenes at the beginning of them, little ones, every now and then. They mostly do, anyway. We're going to give these Ungors the touch of the moon. We're going to make them unbreakable and very strong. Alright, how are we dealing with these Blackguard? I guess we aren't. We're just going to get everything into them. Just a massive charge and try to break their leadership. Or at least get so many models down that their leadership won't matter. Which theoretically could happen. Which is what it looks like happened here. We just boosted all the way in. Now we're going to scream with the beast, and that'll cause them all to flee. Yep, there we go. There's the chain route. There's the shatter. Destroyers of Drakvald are, you know, they're doing their thing. These Marauder Berserkers, you know, they're gonna... These are unarmored dudes, you know, we're just gonna shoot them with some stuff. They're very good at fighting infantry. Very good indeed. That won't matter here anymore. I don't actually know if those guys can betray us. I don't know if your ally can turn on you in the middle of the battle. If... functionally. I know, like, you could just, like, stop helping them. I've definitely joined battles with enemies and then, like, fought badly so that their forces would get beat up. You know, cast magic onto their blobs, that kind of thing. It feels awesome. Alright, so the Archer Fire actually does wonderfully against those Berserkers. And then, you know, they're gonna flee any moment now, but it won't matter. There's a Norskin Giant, but, you know, we've got our own brand of power. And we just move our way in. Yeah, a couple effects later, dazed, poison, everything like that, and this giant just melts down. Look at the damage, you know, that's the power of the Minotaur blob. And the thing is, you can just, like, get them with shields. You don't need to get, like, the great weapon for the big damage or whatever. You can just put shields on them, no anti-infantry, just run around and get that hardiness, get so much off of the charge. But I like to be dramatic. I like a mixed army full of dudes on the ground to get run into while you pay attention to something else. That's my idea of a great time. And a little bit of fast forwarding later, and they'll be all gone. You know, it would be a fairly difficult battle early in the game. Once you have what is an end game army here. Ours is not like as good as it could be just because I like making weird stuff, you know. Normal armies. Not that this one's normal anymore. It's just, you know, very varied. But, like, there's really no reason to have normal Centaurs when you could have Centaurs of Tzeentch. There's literally no reason. But we get our weapon. Hooray! Because, like, all you do is get stuff when you have a Centaur of Tzeentch, right? You get Arcane Charge. You get your Barrier. Like, it's literally just a straight upgrade all across. But I guess... Yeah, I mean, normal ones have a shield. But yeah, I mean, like, a great weapon and a Cynthia Tzeentch great weapon, it's just objectively... Yeah, objectively superior to use the Tzeentchian version. Which means we don't need this one in the army, do we? No, we don't. Does it take, like, a longer time to recruit? Can we even recruit it at all? I'm like, there we go. I'm like, I knew I should have access to it. Anyway, good stuff. We get our item. Wonderful. But that's all I've got today. It's time for me to get on with it. All right, the man is Taurox the Brass Bull. We keep on burning down the island of the Elves. We're probably about to leave. We might burninate up the right side and just send a message. Just burn down everything. Yeah, we'll do that, and then burn down Ganville. You know, like. Do a full burn of basically every place and then bounce out and say, you know, you can come mess with me across the ocean if you want, get wrecked. And maybe they'll bring this Sword of Cain to me or something. But anyway, the man's Taurox. That's the campaign so far. We've burned down 42 settlements, so we just gotta, you know, keep on burning and then take out the Empire. If we wait long enough, usually someone will take out the Empire, especially if you help out. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Later, Thomas. Thanks for hanging out. And maybe I'll see you in a later stream or video.